because we're in the middle of something else going on here. Nothing to do with Donald Trump. We're in the middle of what I'd call, other people call, the fourth industrial revolution. Is there going to be middle class where, Moore's law, the IT, the way we're walking, artificial intelligence? Look what's happened with all the retail jobs that got lost because of Amazon. Now people go to Amazon, and so all across the country, a couple 100,000 people lost their jobs. And people are worried. Truck drivers I talked to are saying, well, they're going to automate trucking, I know, and I'm not going to have a job.
So we are very eager to hear from you. The fourth industrial revolution has one big challenge. It is the holding out of the middle class, which is a pillar of our democracies. So,
topic, and Dr. Schwab, I'm flattered you'd asked me to keynote. There's an expression in my old neighborhood back in the United States. This may be above my pay grade. It's not above yours, though. You've written extensively on the topic that you've asked me to speak to, mastering the fourth industrial revolution. This fora defines that as change fueled by a digital revolution.
Just in the first on CNBC interview. Michael, it's great to have you back.
Thanks for having me, Carl.
We've asked you for a very long time about sort of the bifurcated corporate strategy between Bitcoin and software. Is that what's behind your move to chair?
Yeah, I mean, the company's been executing on a Bitcoin strategy for the past 2 years, and it's worked really, really well, notwithstanding the volatility. Our stock's up 123% through August 1st. And if you compare our performance to Bitcoin, Bitcoin was up 94% in that time period. But the S&P is only up 23%, NASDAQ's up 13%, gold's down, bonds are down, silver is down. We nearly doubled the performance of Google. We outperformed Apple, which is only up 43%. Microsoft's up 34%. Amazon, Meta, and Netflix are down. So you never would have guessed that a mid-sized software company in the enterprise software space could outperform all of big tech and every asset class and even Bitcoin from a standing start. But it's worked extraordinarily well for us.
And do you attribute it to Bitcoin? And by the way, on your tweet this morning, in my next job, I intend to focus more on Bitcoin. How can you focus more on it than you already have?
The secret is creating a hybrid company that's got a stable enterprise software business with stable revenues and good cash flows, and then adopting a Treasury Reserve strategy using Bitcoin as the Treasury Reserve asset. And so, yeah, I've said before, Bitcoin is hope, and Bitcoin is the strategy that we used in order to outperform during a very difficult financial period when most currencies are crashing and most assets are struggling. And I would recommend it to anyone that's looking at a good treasury strategy.
And yet, Michael, during the quarter, of course, we reported, that there was a $918 million impairment charge just due to the sell-off of Bitcoin. And I'm just curious how...
Higher enterprise software business.
Michael, I just wanted to get your thoughts real quickly on a new Senate proposal that would give the Cftc oversight on policing Bitcoin and Ethereum. Do you think that would be a good thing as a big holder of Bitcoin?
This is the most exciting thing going on in the world. It's a global phenomenon. Everybody wants digital property like Bitcoin. Everybody wants digital currency like the US dollar. It's pretty obvious that the 24/7 friction-free mobile app is the future of finance. And that means everybody wants to get in on the action. So that means every regulator is going to be interested, the Senate, the Congress, the White House, but every sovereign is interested. This is an ongoing debate in Europe, in the Middle East, in Singapore. I think that what's happened is we have catalyzed the interest of regulators in putting forth a set of rules and regulations. It's going to be good for the industry. It's above my pay grade to opine on which bill in the Senate will be successful and which regulatory agency will have which responsibilities. I don't know, but I do know that there are large mega investors that have been afraid to put huge amounts of capital into this asset class until they understand the rules of the road. So as the regulators sort out the rules of the road and provide that clarity, it's going to be great for Bitcoin.
Finally, Michael, really quick, does the move to chair, does the overall change in the management structure imply any change in strategy or any net selling of Bitcoin at the margin?
You know, our officers and our directors are unanimously committed to the Bitcoin strategy. I think people heard that on the conference call yesterday. Our new CFO is excited about it. Fong is excited about it. I speak for the entire board of directors. We didn't go down this path without thorough consideration. As you can see from the numbers, it's been a screaming home run for the shareholders. It's been great for our customers, our employees, our partners. We're full speed ahead.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think. And we know the NWO caused the problem. Wait for the reaction and run in with the solution. Another hack, Solana. And the politicians run in and say, look and see. This is the reason why we need regulation. We need to protect the retail investors. And we're going to have regulation soon, but it's going to be global. It's time to get rid of over 20,000 cryptos and consolidate the market. And like Michael Saylor stated, while the Cftc is sorting out regulation, it's going to be great for Bitcoin. And we know as these altcoins disappear, that money is going to roll into the chosen ones. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. But first, we must have that big distraction. And Kevin O'Leary always brings up stablecoins. The reason why he's always bringing up stablecoins because he's pushing the agenda of the Fed. Remember, guys, don't listen to the billionaires. Follow the money. And we know stable coins give the Fed, the central banks, the same control they have now, but even more power. They're going to be programmable. Also, all your privacy is out the window. And remember, blockchain gives the NWO the all-seeing eye. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you because he knows. When it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Let's get to, it's not really a strange segue, but it's certainly totally different. And that is crypto. News just out of Washington about long-awaited crypto regulation, potentially. Ilan Mui joins us now with more. Good morning, Ilan.
Well, good morning, Joe. Top senators from both parties are introducing a new bill today that puts the Cftc in charge of regulating the two largest cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, this proposal comes from Democratic Senator Debbie Stabenow and Republican John Boozman, who lead the committee that oversees the agency. Senators Cory Booker and John Thune have also signed on. This bill explicitly identifies both Bitcoin and Ether as commodities and requires crypto trading platforms, including brokers, dealers, and custodians, to register with the Cftc. It would also set new standards for transparency, consumer protection, and advertising. And it would authorize the Cftc to impose fees on crypto platforms to pay for all of this enhanced oversight. Now, the senators say the bill would close regulatory gaps, but they also acknowledge that other agencies like the SEC have jurisdiction over cryptos that function as securities. So, guys, where to draw this line between what is a commodity and what is a security has been a landmine for the industry and for regulators, and that's why both of them have been clamoring for Congress to step in. Back over to you.
Another crypto hack to get to, this time attacks targeting Solana, costing users more than $5 million so far. Our Kate Rooney has details. Hi again, Kate.
Hey, Carl. Yeah, this is the second crypto hack in just the past few days here, and it adds to a long list of exploits so far this year. Data firm Elliptic estimates $5.2 million in funds were drained from almost 8,000 wallets holding Solana and some related tokens in recent days. This hack is smaller than others we've seen this year, but it is.
It's got bipartisan support, and this morning the lead sponsor, Senator Debbie Stabenow, pointed to the Solana hack as evidence that Congress needs to step in and close the patchwork of regulation.
These firms can't play fast and loose with people's money. That's the whole point of all of this. And the bottom line is we're protecting consumers. We're preventing fraud and abuse and creating a more transparent and accountable marketplace.
You're being taxed at effectively 6% if you hold cash. Maybe you don't want to call it a tax, but when inflation's 6%, Your buying power 12 months from now is 6% less, and that's a lot. And so we now have added pressures, and I'm no different than anybody else trying to figure out, where do I deploy this? Where can I get stability in this cash? Where can I find a way to hedge? And it brings me all the way back into stablecoin. So I'm a huge advocate for solving this problem with stablecoin. It doesn't mean I don't want to invest in the other blockchains or the other coins or tokens or other ideas. I do. But I can't do 30% positions in mandates of any of them. That's too volatile. So these issues are not going away. The dialogue is not going to change. You're going to see a lot of discussion about this in the first and second quarter of next year. And you're right on the money to be covering this. There's no question this is going to be very important. And I think we're going to start to see some moves with the regulator very shortly. Not just in the US. So we talked about Canada, we talked about Germany, we talked about Switzerland. Those regulators are all talking to each other. They're all talking to each other. If we could just agree on one stable coin between those jurisdictions, that would be huge productivity enhancement. And I anticipate that will happen.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.